All right, welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III here with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. And today we're going to be talking about persistence. Persistence is that secret key that unlocks the power of affirmations. Now, look, I know you probably used affirmations in your life. Bob Proctor says, if you don't already know this, affirmations are positive statements which, when given to your subconscious mind repetitively, have a tendency to alter old habits and old conditioning. So if you haven't used affirmations, or you're trying to understand them more, or maybe you felt that affirmations haven't worked for you, maybe they've worked a little and just not as much as you'd like. But today we're going to talk about how to truly unlock the power of affirmations. So let's go ahead and get into it. What you really probably haven't done when we've looked at affirmations, and when we're really looking at this idea of affirmations, is you probably haven't applied all the necessary ingredients of persistence. Let me say that again. Affirmations, but apply the necessary ingredients of persistence. See, many secrets of success that we've applied, we talked about a lot of things on the podcast here, but one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of secrets to success, people only slightly understand, and they don't study and apply all the principles. And Napoleon Hill wrote this in Think and Grow Rich. He wrote a little bit more about this. And today what I want to do is I want to read you a short couple of thoughts on persistence that Napoleon Hill wrote, and that might give you some added benefits, ideas, and learning that you've never really heard of before, or that you could apply in order to expand the power of affirmations in your life. Then what I'll do is I'll add a few thoughts for you to consider and apply when you're looking at this in your life. So Napoleon Hill says this about affirmations. He says, the hidden guide, he's talking about affirmations here. The hidden guide lets no one enjoy great achievement without passing the persistence test. Those who can't take it simply do not make the grade. Those who can take it are bountifully rewarded for their persistence. They receive as their compensation whatever goal they're pursuing. And that's not all. They receive something infinitely more important than material compensation. The knowledge that every failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent advantage. Let me read that again. Every failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent advantage. And he goes on to say that there are no exceptions to this rule. Now, a few people know from experience the soundness of persistence, and they're the ones that have not accepted defeat as being anything more than temporary. So to develop persistence, there are 4 simple steps which lead to the habit of persistence. And notice he says habit of persistence. And these 4 steps, they don't call for any great amount of intelligence, no particular amount of education, and little time or effort. That's very important. But here are the necessary steps. Number 1, a definite purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. Number 2, a definite plan expressed in continuous action. And then number 3, a mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, including negative suggestions of relatives, friends, and acquaintances. And then number 4, a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage one to follow through with both plan and purpose. Now, I'm going to break these steps down for you here in a minute, but listen to this last kind of final thought from Napoleon Hill on this topic. These 4 steps are essential for success in all walks of life. When one makes an impartial study of the prophets, philosophers, miracle men, quote unquote, and religious leaders of the past, one is drawn to the inevitable conclusion that, listen to this, persistence, concentration of effort, and the definiteness of purpose were the major influences of their success. See, when riches take the place of poverty, the change is usually brought about through well-conceived and careful executed plans. Anyone can wish for riches. The most people in life do, right? But only a few know that a definite plan plus a burning desire for wealth are the only dependable means for accumulating wealth. One of America's most successful and best-known financiers, listen to this, I really like this, followed the habit of closing his eyes for 2 or 3 minutes before making a decision. And when asked why he did this, he replied, "With my eyes closed, I'm able to draw upon a source of superior intelligence. So make your desires clear and reduce them to writing." Now, what Napoleon Hill is talking about here is he's talking about affirmations. And he's talking about the power of affirmations and what they can have in your life. And you've got to remind yourself over and over that these are proven through time. They've been proven to work. So let's get back to the 4 steps, and I want to really talk about how you can use these to unleash your power and your unlimited power and your internal potential, and using the power of affirmations. See, most people, I think, have implemented only part of the steps, and that's the problem. So let's break this down. Number 1, you got to have a definite purpose, but it's got to be backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. Really understanding this burning desire for fulfillment is a key, so I want to bring that up. Second, a definite plan, but expressed in continuous action. How many of us have a plan, we're all excited, but we're not putting the action in to make that happen? So it's a definite plan. The second step, definite plan expressed by continuous action. Third, a mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, including negative suggestions of relatives, friends, and acquaintances. Now, I think a lot of us try to avoid negativity, but he talks about a mind closed tightly against negativity. Do you let this negativity surround you in the workplace? Do you listen to the news? Do you watch your social media feed and see and hear negative things? Because remember, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. But you've got to have a mind closed tightly against negative influences. And then fourth, and this is the one I think a lot of people just don't do because they feel like they don't have the opportunity to do it. It's a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage you to follow through with your plans and purpose. Now, I think it's really important to point out here that these principles have been proven to work over time, but you've got to apply the full principle, the full success prospect and principle that and promise that it gives you. And remember this, Napoleon Hill and the Power of Influence of Affirmations dates back 80 years. And Think and Grow Rich has sold 100 million copies over those 80 years. So listen to me closely. Success leaves clues, my friend. Success leaves clues. You got to really understand, study, and implement these powerful strategies like affirmations, but don't do them half-assed. You've got to be able to implement the full power. Now, we don't have time to get into the reasons and enemies that'll keep you from truly implementing and capitalizing on these powerful tools, but I can tell you what they are, and maybe we'll talk about them at a future time, and so that you can really address these. And so I'm going to bring these up for you. The things that will hold you back from really implementing your affirmations are fear, doubt, and indecision. And make no mistake, these are enemies in your mind, and they will keep you from your greatness. So be aware of them. At least understand that fear and doubt and indecision are what's going to hold you back. But for now, I want you to just revisit this idea of affirmations and maybe re-energize and recommit yourself to using this powerful tool in your life. You might have to rewrite your affirmations. You might have to redo them. But later this week, I'm going to spend some more time, and we'll talk about some additional things that'll help you, like how to write your affirmations maybe more clearly, how to overcome that fear, doubt, and indecision. And for now, I wanted to just share with you this powerful idea of persistence and the idea of what it takes, these 4 steps, to have persistence in your life with the affirmations. So I really want to thank you for listening, but I want to ask you to do me a favor. If you found any value with these concepts and these ideas, I want you to share it with somebody, at least one person. It would mean the world to me. Do it right now while you're thinking about it, because it would mean the world to me, but it will make the difference in someone else's life if you do it. And so that's the principle that I want to talk to you about today. Later this week, I got some great stuff coming up for you. But I want you to have an amazing week and realize that it's never too late to start living the life that you were meant to live. So I'll see you here tomorrow on the Daily Mastermind. My name is George Wright III, and I'll talk to you soon.